Mickey Talks.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Mickey Talks. I am Mickey Coachella, along with Matt Davis. And Mickey Talks brought to you by Barnes Paving. Barnes Paving is like my favorite client ever, Matt, because
we love them.
They believed in the show before anyone else.
True story.
And now people are trying to get on, and we're happy to have new subscribers, but I'm never going to lie and say that Barnes Paving does not hold a very dear, special place in our heart.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're the reason we're still here right now.
So please give them a call for something.
Yeah, 443-243-3710. Get a free consultation now. And if you mention Mickey Talks, you get 10% off at Barnes Paving. Check them out at barnespaving.com. That's BARNES paving.com. Or give them a call at 443-243-3710. They are MHIC licensed and insured and accredited with the Better Business Bureau. And if it's paving you need, paving they do. No matter what job, how big, how small, Barnes Paving is your paving people. They're the best. All right, Matt. So we had a guest scheduled today, Dean Crawford from the Dean Crawford Band. There was a little bit of confusion. We're going to reschedule that. Dean couldn't make it today.
For sure.
And we didn't find out until late in the day. So, but we're still here, buddy. We still do what we do.
And we're doing show number 40 right now. You know that?
Dude, I'm just getting ready to bring that up. So I was thinking about this the other day. I started doing this show in April, at the end of April, I think. And I never in a million years would have imagined I would have made it to show 40, let alone show 15, right? And here we are. We've had incredible guests. The show has caught on. Everywhere I go, it's weird. I mean, are people saying things to you?
Like, I hear great stuff all the time, man. Yeah.
I can't. People just walk up to me. Hey, man, saw the show with so-and-so. Hey, man, saw that. And I'm like, wow. Last night was amazing. We got done the show. We went down to Costa's with Craig Gass and Chris Kale from Five Finger Death Punch.
So much fun.
Had Paul, our partner.
Yeah.
Basically bought everybody dinner down at Costa's. And how nice were the people at Costa's, man?
Amazing. Yeah. The
they
staff
treated us like they acted like we were important.
Yeah.
When we walked in, it was the wildest thing.
Well, she came in and she was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Who are you, and you?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. She goes, I'm getting serious band vibes.
Yeah, right.
And then, she knew who you and I were.
Yeah.
And she was so nice when we walked in. And they just treated us like royalty.
How did we get recognized before
Craig Gass and Chris Kale from Five Finger
Death Punch, right?
Yeah. Who just got off the road with Metallica for 2 years.
Yeah.
Opening for Metallica. How great was that guy? Chris Kale.
Amazing, man. What a great dude, for real.
You think.
And Craig, too.
Oh, Craig is like, it's hard for me to look at Craig like a guy. He's like one of my favorite human beings I've met along this journey.
Yeah, I can see why.
And his stories are incredible. He's a great storyteller. He's gotten himself in fascinating situations, over the years. And I just love the guy. And it was so much fun. So much fun.
I mean, the guy has so many stories that, we could probably do 2 or 3 more podcasts with the guy just telling stories.
Craig's going to be on many times.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm not going to have Craig on a bunch.
I think we should probably sell popcorn as some of our merch, Mick, because I had a couple people tell me yesterday after the show.
Switch the cameras. It's still on. It's still sitting here. Can go to the guest camera. Look, and there it is. Anybody wants that, you're welcome to it, man. But no, you know what, Matt? Like, it's been so cool to do this, and I want to take this time, and I'm going to do this at a couple times during this show's history. But I want to take show number 40 here, Matt, and thank you, because you have made this incredibly enjoyable for me. I feel incredibly blessed and fortunate to have you as a partner. And I love you to death, man. And I'm so happy you're on board with this.
I feel the same way, man. So thank you so much. I think we're kicking butt. And
it's awesome.
We're making incredible ground with just 40 shows here.
And it's not like, people that know me, like, whether it's comedy or whatever, I'm not like a guy that sits around and goes, well, I did it. I did this. I did that. But this show, I got to be honest, it's one of the most unique, special things I've ever done, because I don't want to get emotional. I don't. But I walked in here one day and just started doing it with nothing. And I got the best team I could possibly get around me. And I don't know what I ever did to deserve this kind of thing, but I just can't thank you and Paul and all these people that keep tuning in. Like, it's crazy.
It's great. Thank you.
And I'm flabbergasted. And for the first time in my life, I'm taking the time to appreciate it while it's happening. And it's very overwhelming, but I'm loving it.
And it's crazy how it all came together, Mick.
Yeah, it really is. If people really understood everything.
I don't know if you feel that way, but just from my perspective alone, too. I mean, I know there's some probably synchronicities that led you to doing this, but me coming into the picture, it's a crazy story.
Talk a little bit about that, Matt. I mean, we never really get into this stuff. We talk about it quickly and we're like, oh, that happened, this happened. But I mean, I don't even remember the scenario of how you reached out about a sound issue.
Yeah. So
trying to help me with something.
You know, I've been wanting to do something similar to this for a long time. Right. Yeah. And when I saw you doing the show, I checked it out, of course. I don't know what show that was. How many shows did you do before I came on board?
4, maybe 3 or 4.
Okay.
And I remember a text or a messenger.
And I was hesitant to reach out only because I don't want to be that guy.
But you are that guy that I would respect. You know what I mean? And you did. And you're like, hey, man, you might want to consider this or that for your audio. And then I was like, yeah, thanks, Matt. I don't even know what I'm doing. You know, I'm looking for that. And you're like, you told me you were doing news sometimes doing the Bay and at DC 101, you were doing some shifts. And I was like, well, if you got time and you want to come down and do it with me, do it. Yeah. And you showed up the next day and never left.
Right. Well, I think it was, you were like, well, come down, show me the mic thing. And then we got down here and we started talking. And then, you found out that I'd been doing some news with Huber in the morning, occasionally for fill-in. And it just, I drove home and I was like, oh my God, I think I told my wife, I said, I think I'm doing a podcast with Mickey now.
You know? And she said, we're getting divorced.
No, she loved it.
You know, I've always, I knew your wife years ago. I'd seen, you know, we'd be out in the bars and stuff. We all hung out.
Of course.
Met Liz a couple times. What an outstandingly incredible woman she was.
I'm a lucky man.
You very, very much so. Not only is she beautiful and to look at, amazing, but she's truly a kind, genuinely sweet person. And that is so important in what we do. Because we're nuts for a living.
And fully supportive.
It's incredible that you have that. I mean, I'm so happy that
you know all the stories of like band girlfriends that just can't handle the schedule or whatever. My wife is like, usually just do what you need to do.
Yeah. And you know what? But you're a good dude, man. I think it makes it easier for a woman when you don't have a bunch of other women in the picture.
Well, that's true too.
And you don't come home drunk 3 nights a week. None of that shit matters, man. It does.
Of course.
You know, whenever I hear guys like complaining they're in a band or they're comedians, like, my girlfriend gives me so much shit if I want to stay out late and hang out and drink with the guys. I'm like, you know what? If you do it once or twice a month and she bitches, screw her. You know what I'm saying? But if you're doing it 3 or 4 nights a week, you're the idiot.
If you're away for a 3-day weekend.
Yeah, you're the moron.
Yeah,
like, don't expect a woman to tolerate your complete absence.
Yeah, true.
That's just asinine.
That's true.
You know, and any good woman would say, no, go out with the boys, you know, every now and then, you know, because look, you saw last night. It was 4 guys sitting there telling stories, not a chick to be seen,
right?
Other than Paul's wife,
right?
You know, it's not that kind of vibe, what we do. You know, plus we're older. You know, we don't have a bunch of girls.
Anybody at the table even drinks, do we?
Nah, the 4 of us don't. I've never seen Paul drink a drop, and I don't know if his wife drinks, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know either.
You know, but I whatever anybody, you know, I smoke a little, you know, not cigarettes.
Right.
You know, I'll smoke some Happy Flower every now and then, and I have no bones about it. But I try to do it when I have nothing serious to do.
Yeah, no criticism on anybody. I was just saying that table wasn't getting overly wild or
anything.
It
was just enjoying, you know, what we do for a living. And the way when you entertain people, it's nice to be entertained. We don't get entertained much because we're always entertaining everyone in what we do. So when you get to sit down with friends and you all take turns making each other laugh, it's really nothing better, you know? And a lot of times I can see how it is hard for a significant other, because I think you have to understand what it's like doing something like this to really appreciate someone else doing it. Does that make you?
Well, yeah, and it's not a regular schedule. Either, by any means.
Our schedule right now is pretty good, dude.
Well, it is. You're right.
It's the best radio gig I've ever had.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
we're not getting up at 4 a.m.
Right. We work an hour and a half a day.
Right.
That's not true. I mean, you're home all day doing stuff. I was here this morning
right.
killing it. It's computer stuff. You're doing stuff. But the truth is, I'm so happy doing this.
Of course, right. This is the dream, right?
And then there's money in my pocket after I do it.
Yeah.
Not a lot, and we are struggling financially.
For
but
40 episodes, we're doing all right.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
And I do want to say to the people at Barnes Paving, I'm going to reach out to them today, Matt, just so you know. Doug, the owner, is a very, very humble, incredible guy. I don't even know if he would do the podcast. He's that kind of guy. In fact, I mean, I might fill up telling this story, but the truth of the matter is he came to see me do a comedy show right when I first started that first 2 episodes, I think.
Yeah.
And he came to a comedy show, and afterwards he said, "Hey, man, call me. I'll help you out."
Wow.
And I was like, I didn't know what he meant. So I was like, well, I don't need anything paved. I wonder what he means,
Yeah.
And I called him, and he met me. And he just said to me, "I don't even care. I just want to support you."
Wow, that's huge.
I don't even know. Like, it's the first time I've really gotten serious about it, because I think about it, and it's incredible and it's overwhelming. And for people to believe in something or do something this kind and just take a chance, I'm just eternally grateful. And I don't know. I'm getting lost for words here because my emotions are getting me.
People believe in you, man, and
us, us.
Well, right, but I'm just saying they were fans of your different projects and comedy over the years, and they know what you're capable of.
Yeah,
and then I think we're doing a pretty damn good show,
dude. It's a great show.
Yeah,
and I'll be honest.
Without the guests, we're doing all right here.
I'll be honest with you. I was talking to a friend of mine today who's very successful, but a business person. Real estate and stocks, like just a very successful person. Always been a fan of mine. Has always told me that if he had my talent and his brain, he'd be, Elon Musk, and vice versa.
Right.
If I had his self-control and all that and my talent, But however, we were talking today and he said, "Mickey, it sounds like for the first time in your life, you've put people around you that know what they're doing. And you're letting them do it." And Matt, it's so true. Like, it's very rare that you've said anything that I've gone, nope. Like, I just don't. I realize what I'm good at, and I'm doing it right this second. This is what I'm good at.
The pieces are in place. Each one of us has our piece, and we're good at what we do.
And it's been an incredible journey so far. It hit me today when I was typing that number earlier, and you were standing here, and I went, "Holy shit! It's 40 shows."
Right. What is the 40th anniversary?
Let's look that up. That's a good question, Matt. I know that
I didn't get you anything, but
I didn't get you shit either. But I just want to know what the hell it is.
Because we had the 20. It felt like we just had the 25th not too long ago episode.
Yeah,
that's the silver, of course. That's one of the big ones. I don't know what 40 is.
You ready for this?
50's the gold. Yeah.
Let's see. 40th. Ruby.
Ruby.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't get you anything, man.
Well, if there's a girl named Ruby out there,
call the studio right now. We'll hook you up.
Yeah, we'll gladly talk to you.
We'll get you some popcorn.
It's been incredible. People like Tina Z.
Yeah.
have been just amazing. Drea, Carrie, just I sometimes it's hard to put into words because you don't even understand why people are the way they are to you. And all I can just humbly say is thank you to those people. Rocky, who watches the show every day, Turk Riley, Corey G. These people reach out to me every freaking day. you know, and the guests we've had on have been incredible and so giving, and let us ask them anything.
Yeah, we got some interesting guests coming up too.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you know, and there's some guests I can't wait to get through, like get to Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake.
Yeah,
has
she
agreed
committed
to do
she?
the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got to get through her daughter's graduation. Congratulations to your daughter, Madam Mayor. I hope that all goes splendidly. And I've said this before. People are like, "Oh, are you going to go after her?" Absolutely not.
No, she's good people, right?
The mayor,
Yeah.
the former mayor, I do not agree with her politically on a lot of things. And she knows that, and I know that. But we genuinely like each other.
And we need more of that in this country, I think.
And for anybody that judges a human being based on solely their political office, you're the problem. I'm not saying there weren't mistakes made. I'm not saying that things could have been different, but it doesn't make people evil and terrible and not caring and all this other shit.
Yeah, it's breaking families and friends, longtime friends apart.
I mean, I don't want to say who, but very close to you and I.
Yeah.
Is not talking to their daughter
I know,
right now because of Trump being president.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking serious? Like, I'm not going to talk to you because you voted for someone. I let me say this. I want to be crystal clear. I don't give a shit who you vote for. But if who you vote for means that much to you that I have to agree with you, I don't want to be your friend. I'll make it plain and simple.
Yeah, but
if that's a requirement to be your friend, to agree and vote with you on every single thing, I'm not interested in being your friend at all.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You do you, I'll do me. We can do us.
But I think what really needs to happen, there's people who feel that way, if they're that pent up with anger, you need to shut the news off. You need to get off of social media and go hang out with your friend again or your daughter.
Get laid. Whack off.
Something.
Smoke a joint.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sick of this shit.
Yeah.
You know, everybody looks at you, you know, like, you did this, you did. Fuck off. Like, I'm so sick of all this shit. You know what I mean? I have friends that I have to be careful what I say around. Fuck, I'm so done with it, Matt.
I'm done with it too. People are, it's their whole life now. It's become their whole identity.
Totally agree.
You know,
I believe in my heart that
and they don't care about us at all. I mean,
not a flying fuck.
They're no longer public servants working for us, right?
They couldn't give a shit.
Yeah. Most of them are getting rich and destroying families with propaganda on all sides.
Here's all I've ever said. Until somebody explains to me how any politician, you know, let's just say they made 150,000. Let's say they were attorneys.
Yeah. And
they were making 300,000 a year. How do you go in for 6 years and be worth 30 million? The fucking math doesn't work.
No, we all know, but you know.
So why can't? Yeah, I'm just done politically.
We need term limits. We need to put a stop to insider trading.
I'll tell you what else we need.
Yeah.
Again, public executions. For real. Like if a politician commits terrible fraud, like defrauds the country and treason, fuck them.
Well, you know what? I think seeing some of those guys in handcuffs would be a nice change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like actually getting prosecuted for crimes that you and I would end up in federal prison for.
Could you imagine if you and I would have been caught for some of the things, some of these people?
Oh my God.
I mean, we would have been crucified.
Yeah.
I'm just sick of all of it. And I don't care what side it's on. The right can kiss my ass. The left can kiss my ass. If you're that far out on either side, stay the fuck out there.
Yeah. I think
the rest of the country wants to be normal.
We all basically want the same things, roughly.
Totally.
You know? People have different religious beliefs that affect, I think, some of their thinking, but we all can, in the end, want the same thing for each other.
I'll tell you an example, and I'm not going to give names because it's not fair to them. Two people that have done this show for a fact. When I say polar opposites politically, I mean Trump, Obama. Like they're that different.
Right.
They don't speak over it. And I love them both so much, yet they both speak to me. It's the weirdest thing.
Wait, they do get along or they don't get along?
Those two stop speaking.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not going to say who.
Sure.
But they stop speaking to each other. And it breaks my heart. No, not. And we're like brothers.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make an effort to make that not be the same anymore because it's insanity.
Yeah, your candidate doesn't really care about you. I hate to be the one to break it to you right now.
None of them do. I swear to God, the first candidate that I ever see that comes out and goes, like, I honestly want to run for something under this. I don't know anything about politics.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about economics. I don't know anything about most of this shit. Yeah. Here's what I do know, what's fair and what isn't. And when I see something not fair, I'm going to go, that's not fair. It's not fair. You're bullshitting us. Like, that's the problem. Everybody gets caught in this two-wheeled machine. And then if one wheel stops, the other one spins in a circle. We need like 12 wheels.
Yeah.
We need different opinions, different ideas.
Well, I think these political platforms are put up to light a fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To get you upset. I'm going to save you from this problem.
Right, of course.
And if you don't vote for me, they're going to ruin your life and the country.
All right, I'm sick of talking about this shit, Matt, because I get passionate about it because I love these people.
Right.
And,
love your neighbor. How about that?
Yeah, it's the truth.
Yeah.
The street I live on, the lady next door, one of my favorite people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Black lady, foster mom, incredible woman. And the neighbor across the street, they all have different ideas of what politically.
Mm-hmm.
Yet when we're all out front on the sidewalk, hey, Mickey, hey, guys, like their kids come out. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah. Well,
it's just,
it's like, what do
we're
you
not
think
enemies
happened?
with each other.
What do you think happened?
I know exactly what happened.
You think your friend became a Nazi and your friend became a communist? Is that what you really think
Is
happened?
that what you think?
Yeah.
No, what happened is that people got rich off of making us fight and hate each other.
Exactly.
Don't let us get together. That's my new thing.
Yeah.
Get together. We can disagree and still be together.
Right.
Like most women I've ever dated, I disagree with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But I go, okay, well, that's what, let's move through it. Let's move past it. Let's move on. Whatever. I'm done with this shit.
We live in a country that's Coke and Pepsi, man. Nobody else is allowed into the debates, into the conversation at all,
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, I think I got to get off it, Matt, because I'll get deep into it and I don't want to.
I hear you. Don't blow a gasket, man.
Well, it's not even blowing a gasket. It's just you get to a point where you realize that logic and common sense are always the right answer.
Sure.
They're never wrong. Logic and common sense is usually right. They're never really wrong.
Agreed.
So when you take all these things, when you just hear a word and you immediately tune everything else out, you're the problem.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you that. You are the ignorant asshole that just hears a word, whether it's Trump or Pelosi or Schumer or Getz or Vance, or I could just name them on either side, and you tune out because you don't agree with that one. Well, you're the problem.
Yeah,
you're the reason.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's insane, and I won't give up on it. I will not let people pretend that one side is the problem.
Yeah, they divided us, man. They've done a great job at dividing us,
and I refuse to be divided from people I love.
Right,
they can divide themselves from me. But there is no division in my soul.
Shut the news off. Turn That's the Facts Matt's on. How about
You're
that?
damn right. In fact, you know what, Matt? Let's get into it because we blew it off a couple times this week because our guests have been great.
Should we do the music minute first? Or
I want to do That's the Facts, Matt.
Right,
let's just have fun.
Right.
It's just you and I today. By the way, if anybody wants to call the show, I don't even remember the damn number.
It's 443-626-7111. There we go.
443-626-7111. If you want to call the show, do it. I'll figure out how to get the call on air by then. I got to hit like 8 buttons. I'll figure it all out. So, all right, buddy, let's do it. It's Matt's Music Minute, brought to us by Natalie Seafood. Natalie Seafood is Fallston's newest restaurant. It has been packed every night. It is incredible. We will be there again this Friday at 5 p.m., broadcasting live.
Can't wait.
By 5:10, that entire bar and patio was packed. It was amazing, dude.
And it was chilly outside, too.
Yes, and this week on the show, by the way, from he's been on the show once, but we want to bring him back. There's so many things to talk about. John Allen from Child's Play.
Yeah, that's
from
great.
SR71. From what are all the other bands? What's his current band? Stone Horses.
Right. Yeah, we didn't even get into SR71.
We didn't get into any of it.
About with him.
So I'm so looking forward to talking to John. And like you, I mean, he's like a brother to me. So I just love doing this stuff. All right. So Natalie Seafood Kitchen in Fallston, our newest sponsor. Thank you so much to Zach, Natalie, and Lou. up there, and Kristen, the manager, and I'm forgetting other people, and I feel horrible. But everyone at Natalie's Seafood Kitchen, thank you. You've come on board, and there is plenty of room for other sponsors. Please reach out as we are building something unique.
Meg? What's the best way for them to reach out?
I would email mickeytalkspod@gmail.com.
mickeytalkspod.
MickeyTalkspod.
Yeah, remember that E in Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey, like the mouse. Yep. MickeyTalkspod@gmail. So thank you, Natalie's. And by the way, they're a real paid sponsor. They given us money.
I know. It's amazing.
I got to pick up the money, but they agreed to do it.
That's an important part.
Yeah. So thank you to Natalie's and all future. But right here for Barnes Paving, I'll never, ever forget it, ever, as long as I live.
Yeah, man. The first sponsor.
Matt's Music Minute.
All right, so we got to wish a happy birthday today to David Byrne, founding member, principal songwriter, and lead singer of the Talking Heads. He's 73 today. A lot of Baltimore, Maryland connections. You know that?
No, for what?
Yeah, so before let me tell you a little bit about his story here. Before he was born in Scotland, actually, and when he was 2, his family moved to Canada, but they then moved to the United States, making their home in Arbutus, Maryland, when he was 8 years old. So before high school, David already knew how to play the guitar, accordion, and violin, though he was actually rejected from his middle school choir because they claimed he was off-key and too withdrawn. Isn't that crazy to think about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think his biggest, what is his biggest thing, you think?
You mean as far as his music? Or?
Yeah. What would you say?
What, like song-wise?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I know my favorites.
What's your favorite?
I mean, I think my all-time favorite Talking Heads is probably Psycho Killer.
Psycho Killer's a great song.
Yeah.
Do you find him to be, and I find that guy to be an insanely creative artist.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Artist in the truest sense of the word.
Oh, he is a fascinating human being.
For sure.
Part of me thinks that it's all kind of tongue-in-cheek with him.
You think? I don't know, man.
I just think that he kind of, I think he loves music. I think he's serious about it. He is a serious songwriter. But I think the rock star side of it, he kind of mocks.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit about any of that.
No, it's
Do you agree?
He cares about the art.
Yeah, and that's why I think I dig him so much. I'm with you. I think Psycho Killer probably is, I don't know, there's so many. He's amazing.
Want to hear about his connection to Baltimore here?
Yeah, of course.
David Byrne graduated from Lansdowne High School in Baltimore County, where he had a band called Revelation. He also attended the Maryland Institute College of Art from 1971 to 72 before he dropped out. He then would move to New York with his girlfriend, Tina Weymouth, where they would form Talking Heads while still working day jobs. And She Was, another one of my favorite Talking Heads songs. You want to hear about that?
Yeah.
So David says that And She Was is about a Baltimore girl tripping on LSD.
I bet we know her.
Yeah. I wonder if she's out there somewhere, you know?
That's awesome.
Let's see here. He said he would hang out in a parking lot in Baltimore County somewhere with this girl, and that's what inspired that song. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'm a big David Byrne fan. I like the Talking Heads, but I have them in this category of just artists. It's just an art band to me.
Yeah.
I like Pink Floyd, but again, I like them if I'm really high. I'm not lying, and not that I'm that way often, but when I really get into Pink Floyd, I get why people got into it because everybody was high. There's a lot of art in that music.
Oh, absolutely.
And the players in that band.
Oh, incredible.
And David Gilmour, and that's a band that I look at like that. What's his name from Genesis, the original singer?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Peter Gabriel.
Peter Gabriel, yeah.
Their collection of music to me is just it's an art form. They kind of leave the rock star part behind.
I'm going to say something blasphemous, though. I was always more of a Phil Collins fan.
I think I like
Gabriel.
Phil Collins' voice better.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that there are artists that only think about the art. They don't care about their image, so to speak, or their hair or that kind of stuff. And I like that other stuff, too. You know, I like a cool image.
Yeah.
I like a good branding on an artist.
But we both love pop. We had that conversation not too long ago.
Hanson, to me, is the greatest pop song ever written.
Yeah.
Mbop.
Right.
I dare you to find a better song, pop song. Tell me any song there could be 12 cop cars behind you with the lights on, and that song comes on, you're smiling when they walk up.
You're right. That is the epitome of a pop song.
Oh
right?
my God.
Yeah,
and it's brilliant. I love literally says bop. And they do it in such a way you can't stop moving.
Right.
It's incredible.
It is catchy.
Yeah.
And those kids are doing well now.
Good for them. You know, Scott and me years ago had a prediction the drummer would be in a hotel room with an 8-ball and a hooker by the time he was 20.
What else happens to those kids?
But they held, I think because it was family, they're brothers.
Yeah.
I think the parents were able to say, they kept them all together.
Yeah.
It's easy when it's 3 of your own, as opposed to one guy and then a dude down the street and his parents don't care. So I'm happy for Hanson.
They still tour.
We're talking about Hanson.
I know. And we'll move on now.
Yeah, let's move on.
What do you think Diddy thinks about his image? You think he cares about his image?
Well, you know what? I was thinking about this the other day or last night, actually, I was watching the news and they showed that video of him kicking and punching that woman in the hallway.
Right. Cancy.
Yeah, Cassie. And my daughter's named Cassie.
I knew that.
I can't, it's hard to really understand someone hitting a woman like that.
Yeah.
Like this is going to sound horrible. I've seen a man push a woman. She was in his face and push her. I've seen a man slap a woman and it turns your stomach. But he hit that woman to the ground and then soccer kicked her.
Yeah.
Like 3 times.
Yeah, it's hard to watch.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
Like you got to hate a man to do that.
Sure.
To a man on the ground and you're just kicking him.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care about his image. Honestly, I hope he has a stroke and dies today.
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel about that piece of shit.
Well, his case, the sex trafficking trial started on Monday. And then yesterday, Cassie Ventura testified in the federal sex trafficking trial and alleging years of abuse during their 11-year relationship. She described enduring physical abuse and daily psychological abuse, including being dragged, kicked, and stomped by Combs. Ventura recounted being coerced into multi-day freak-offs, drug-fueled sex sessions with male escorts that she said became her full-time job.
She was taking care of men? I'm confused.
Yeah, he would bring in male escorts,
right, to have sex with her,
and he would watch and I guess have parties around this. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot of.
Can't you do that without beating her up? Like I know there's a lot of couples into open relationships and stuff.
I think she's alleging that it was not a
right. She wasn't in on it. Yeah, she wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bizarre. I mean, I think what happens is when you get that kind of money and power, you just run out of shit that entertains you because you can have anything.
Yeah.
It's hard to stay grounded when you're flying. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Would you watch the trial if it was on TV, do you think?
Of course I would.
So I'll tell you why it's not. The trial will not be televised and no live stream will be available. Because Diddy is facing federal criminal charges, the presence of electronic media is expressly banned by a procedural rule passed in 1946. That means no broadcast or even photographs. He's charged with 2 counts of sex trafficking, 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, and 1 count of racketeering, like the RICO thing.
Yeah, I've always thought, for whatever reason, that people who do this kind of stuff, they're just, I don't know, man. It's like, I think they honestly that nothing entertains them anymore. When you're that wealthy and powerful. I mean, P. Diddy was the kind of guy that could meet a dude on the street at noon.
Yeah,
and get the guy a $10 million record deal by 6.
Well, he had a record deal with Cassie too, right?
Yeah,
he had a 10 record deal with her that I guess he had done nothing with.
Nothing. He's just, that's what they do.
Yeah.
And then they put you on, like I saw a whole thing about it. These big producers, what they do is they get these young artists and they say, all right, I'm going to sign you to a 10-album deal. You're going to get $2,000 a week from me. Then we'll do an album. And then the album comes out and the artist gets about 40 cents. And they just use and abuse these young artists. Dude, when I was out there, I'm not going to lie to you. I've never really told this story.
Yeah.
But I went to a party and I was approached by men
A Diddy party?
No, not a Diddy party. But I went to a producer party when I was out there shooting stuff and my sitcom and stuff, the pilot. And I was approached by men. Hey, what are you doing afterwards? I produced this, this, and this. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going home. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Like it happened 3 or 4 times at the same party. And you just see how easy it is. Yeah. They just put it right in front of you. Hey, if you sleep with me, I'll get you a TV show. Hey, if you sleep with me, I'll get you a record deal. Hey, if you sleep with me, I won't say don't hire you. Like, it's just pathetic. I hated every moment I was out there, unless I was just with my friends who lived out there. LA weather's beautiful. The people are the shittiest, worst human beings I have ever met. I'm so glad I grew up the way I did with nothing. Yeah. Humble parents, humble grandparents, humble family. The neighborhood was home. Nobody had anything.
Are people getting tired of Hollywood, do you think?
Yeah, I think people are sick of privileged entertainers.
I'm glad. Are you? Are you
happy about that? Oh, my God. All my favorite entertainers are cool. I don't like Kim Kardashian. I think she's actually cool for what she's doing off the show, getting people out of jail and shit. Yeah. Like, I like that part of her. The other shit, I can't watch that. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, I don't care who anybody's fucking, like, none of that matters to me. I don't care about any of that Hollywood drama. I just want to be entertained, and I want somebody to be cool.
And I'm so happy that Joe Rogan kind of single-handedly pulled the comedy scene out of California.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. I really believe this.
Austin's the city now, right?
Austin for comedy.
Yeah, right.
And Austin has a good music scene too.
Sure.
The problem is the industry is still in LA. What we see on TV is still in LA. What no one's talking about, however, is that it's dying. And I think our video just ended. My Facebook video just ended. Really? I don't know what just happened.
I think we're good on the other platforms, though.
I don't know if we're still in this or not. Matt, can you go to your phone? I'm sorry, I just looked up and it was a blank screen.
I'm going to check it right now.
Yeah, I apologize to everyone. This sucks.
I think we're good everywhere else, though.
No, maybe we are. We are live.
Yours says it was live, so I think your Facebook must be over.
What the hell? Everybody else watching,
so
thanks a lot.
Put yourself back up on your Facebook, but we're still good on YouTube. We're still good on my Facebook.
God damn it! I'm so sick of this. Every time, Matt, it makes me crazy. Maybe Hollywood shut us off.
Maybe it was.
Who the hell knows?
You never know what kind of control they have. They got their hands into the studio.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I got to type all this. All right, do the next story, Matt, while I'm typing.
Yeah, so Weezer's bass player's wife, Jillian Lauren, has pleaded not guilty to the LAPD shooting. Jillian Lauren, the wife of Weezer bassist Scott Schreiner, pleaded not guilty to the felony gun charges following an altercation with police that resulted in her being charged with attempted murder. Lauren, an author of best-selling memoirs and true crime books, has been charged with discharge of a firearm with gross negligence and assault with a semi-automatic firearm. She's facing up to 19 years in federal prison if convicted. And then a quick refresher in case you don't remember what happened. April 9th, officers were searching for 3 suspects allegedly involved in a hit and run when they encountered Lauren wielding a firearm in her backyard. You can see it in body cam footage that's been released by the LAPD. Officers repeatedly instructed her to lower her weapon before she fired at least one shot. In response, officers fired back, striking her in the arm, after which Lauren fled back into her residence. Lauren remained inside for approximately an hour and called 911 before eventually surrendering to the police, who charged her with the attempted murder. But according to an audio released by the LAPD, it appears that Lauren believed she was shooting at the hit and run suspects, unaware that they were police officers.
Wow.
She's going to be returning to court on June 18th for a preliminary hearing.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's pretty crazy.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's hard to mistake police officers, too, especially when they're shouting, "Police, drop your weapon."
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Was she high? Was she drunk?
I don't know.
I mean, she's lucky she's alive. You know what I mean?
You're right about that.
Yeah, I mean, That's a crazy story, man.
I mean, even when they're coming to bust your house, they usually have a big police thing on their back and across their chest. And one of the first things they'll yell, I see anyway in videos, they're yelling, police.
Yeah.
Drop your weapon.
Drop your weapon, police.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You watch those cop shows where you watch these videos of people getting pulled over and the officer says, step out of the car, and they go, no.
Yeah.
You're like, what do you mean no?
Right. Why do you want to escalate this?
And then people, that's another thing I can't get into are these audit assholes. Right. You know what I mean? That just check the police.
Yeah.
You want that job? You want to be a police officer? It's like the worst job in the world. And I don't mean they're bad people.
No, the citizens make it the worst job in the world for them.
Nobody calls the police and goes, hey, we're having a great time. We need you here right away.
Yeah.
They call them and they go, hey, shit's going down. Can you get here?
Right.
And then they get there and everybody treats them like shit.
I know. Well, look, there are bad cops out there, like in any field.
Of course.
But
there's bad doctors.
The vast majority of our police officers are doing the right thing. And
absolutely.
Good people. And they want to go home at night. They don't want to get into fights and shootouts and anything like that.
I had a police officer tell me one time something that really stuck with me. He said, I leave my house every day. I kiss my wife and my kids. And as I walk to the car, I turn around and look because it may be the last time I ever see them again. But that's a real thought.
Yeah.
We come here and do the show. We don't go, I might get killed today.
Right.
I mean, we might in a car accident or something. But what we do doesn't set us up to be killed.
I know. Why aren't our police officers making high six figures for just the crap they have to deal with on a daily basis? Why are we not allotting more tax dollars to our police?
Because we want to defund the police, man.
I know, it's crazy. We need to.
School teachers, firefighters, police officers should be wealthy people that earn the money and deserve it. If you started paying cops 125,
like senators, you know?
Pay these guys 150 grand a year.
Think about what they have to do on a daily basis. Firefighters walking into a burning building to save somebody.
Yeah.
Anybody.
There's a candle on in my living room. I'm cautious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's pathetic. And I think part of the problem, Matt, is the media doesn't say shit like this, like we're saying. You know? I mean, are you kidding me? Like an attorney makes $500,000 a year to read shit out of a book?
You know what shocked me? Because I didn't learn this until years ago, a few years ago, is that I forget what the percentage is, but it's a high percentage, maybe 60, 70% of the fire departments in our country are volunteer.
Yeah, of course.
Dude,
you get out in the counties. Like I've lived in Harford County for a long time.
Yeah.
There's huge parts of it that are just volunteer firefighters.
Yeah.
If some shit goes down, the volunteers are showing up.
Right.
Now, I think I don't know enough about the volunteer fire department world, and I don't pretend to, but I do think some of those are paid, like the captains and the battalion chiefs.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I think those are paid gigs, but the firefighters,
as they should be,
and the men and women, the EMTs, like a lot of that stuff, I think it's just volunteer.
Yeah, so support your volunteer fire departments.
Absolutely.
And why is that not a platform? Tell me.
Why don't we do a big fundraiser for volunteer fire departments?
I love that.
And we'll just split the money up with a bunch of volunteer fire departments.
I love it.
We're going to do a volunteer firefighter festival. I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
you know how I am. I come up with this shit. So do you.
Yeah.
And then we just do it. We're going to do it before this summer's over.
Well, some of them have venues. So if you're listening.
No. We're doing, because what I'm saying, I want to do one. I'm going to pick 5 or 6 volunteer firefighting companies, and we're going to do a huge benefit. I'll get bands, comedians. Maybe we'll do it. I'll call Paul Manna. We'll try to get the racetrack, and we'll raise money every year for volunteer firefighters.
I love it.
And if they had volunteer police departments, I would do that.
Let's get on whoever we need to get on to get our police officers and firefighters more money for their salaries and for
all we got to do is just
training
start.
And for training.
Here's how you do it, people. People always go, I wish we could. You absolutely can. You have to find the people running in your local area for office, call their office and say, hey, where do you stand on the police officer salary?
Yeah.
And if they don't answer you or you don't like
We're
their
not gonna
answer,
vote for you.
Don't fucking vote for them.
Right.
It's not rocket
You're
science.
right. It's not rocket science. It'll take a big grassroots movement, and this might help.
And I'm telling you something else I
want
to do, Matt. You know how we don't want to get political?
Yeah.
So let's get so political that it's anti-political. Let's offer the seat to any politician that wants to come in here and have a real conversation and really talk about the way people talk on the streets, not in front of the news media, not in front of the newspapers. I'm going to flat out ask you, why aren't you petitioning?
A lot of them are not going to have the guts to come in here and do a long conversation with us.
But then you say to those people, I'm sorry, if you're not willing to sit here in a town hall format, then you're not willing to vote. I'm not willing to vote for you.
Right.
If you're going to hide how you feel, you're not getting my vote. And I think when people start to realize that actually has power, that you literally just vote them out. That's all it takes is a vote. We all pay attention to the president, the senator, the congressman, but your local delegate who decides how much the police department and this and that and could fight all day, they get left alone. And a lot of these guys on the state level making a whole shit ton of money.
So it would take a big grassroots movement to pressure the politicians themselves to have that on their platform. But
we'll
get them raises, right?
Yeah, we need the callers and listeners to get on board as well, too. Yeah. That's what I think.
All right, I got another Kiss story. I know we've been talking about Kiss a lot.
I love Kiss
recently, but they made a promise. You know, it's no secret that Kiss famously got back together after completing their farewell tour in 2001. So it's not surprising that there are many skeptics who don't believe that the final show of their end of the road tour on December 2nd, 2023 was really their last. But while they can do their kind of odd reunion shows here and there, they're allowed to do that. Gene Simmons says that contractually, they can no longer tour. Gene says there is a film of their last show in the works with the Avatar show that Pop House is producing, and that's slated to open in 2027. So you're going to get an Avatar show, apparently.
Of Kiss.
Apparently.
Would you take it?
I mean, I thought about that. Would I go to see an Avatar show? And I think I would.
I don't think I'd go see Kiss.
I'd go see a Zeppelin.
I would see. Then you say
Elvis
Avatar.
Presley.
You say Avatar.
Yeah.
It's not a hologram. It doesn't look like them.
It is a hologram. Yeah.
So it actually, then that's not an Avatar, right? Isn't an Avatar the cartoon version of whatever the hell you are?
No, I'm pretty sure they're talking about like a
hologram.
3D hologram.
Yeah, I'd probably go see anybody like that.
Yeah.
Because the music's what matters to me, you know, and I mean, they matter. And it's just like going to a movie.
Well, to see it in a big concert venue with a ton of people and them almost looking like they're really on stage.
It would be wild.
Hearing it through a pro sound system.
Yeah, it would be wild.
Yeah.
I would see the Beatles like that.
Or with a partial band where it's like Ozzy up there, but it's a band.
A live band playing with them.
Like
Elvis or Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I'd go to that one. That's a tough one.
Really?
Yeah, because I still worry about all the kid shit.
I don't know where my head is on that, man.
Yeah, I don't either. That's a sad one for me. One of the greatest.
The music is incredible.
And unbelievable. It's one of the greatest musicians that ever lived.
Yeah.
Maybe the most popular entertainer of all time. And he's a kid diddler.
He seems to get a pass from a lot of people.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't get it. I don't know. Yeah. I can't bring myself to just be okay with it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'm not going to say that, but
what are we going to say?
No, I'm not going to bring that up on the show.
Is it about me?
No, it's about other people that get a pass for diddling kids.
Yeah, I get it.
You probably know who I'm talking about.
I'm not sure, but well, I mean, now that you told me,
I gave you a signal.
Yeah, and it was a very good one, and I knew exactly what you meant.
Yeah.
You know what we'll do, Matt? We'll pray on that tonight, and we'll have an answer tomorrow.
Thank you. That's a good idea, Mick. That's a good idea. Well, you know what? Not only are we on our 40th show, Mick, Farm Aid is turning 40.
Look at that.
Willie Nelson, Neil Young, John Mellencamp, and Dave Matthews with Tim Reynolds will headline the 40th anniversary, edition of Farm Aid. The annual benefit concert will be held in Minneapolis for the first time on September 20th at Huntington Bank Stadium. Tickets go on sale Friday. Other acts on the bill include Billy Strings, Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, Trampled by Turtles, and more. And Willie's saying for 40 years, Farm Aid and our partners have stood with farmers, supporting them to stay on their land, even when corporate power, bad policies, and broken promises make it harder to keep going.
Wow.
Yeah.
Farm Aid's a great thing.
Gotta support our farmers too.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
I love the original Farm Aid. I remember it.
Yeah.
Wasn't the original one Willie Nelson, John Cougar, and one other guy? I can't remember.
Who was it? Yeah.
It was John Cougar and Willie Nelson, right?
I believe so, yeah.
And I think there was some other guys that were powerful, but like the three big ones, I can't remember
I got to know now, man.
Yeah, and look at who was on the original Farm Aid. I'm trying to remember because I'm pretty sure it was Willie Nelson, John Cougar, and then like either Dan Fogarty or like one of those Americana dudes.
First one was 85. Willie Nelson, Neil Young, John Mellencamp.
Neil Young, that's who.
Bob Dylan.
Wow.
Billy Joel, Bonnie Raitt, B.B. King.
God.
Sammy Hagar, Johnny Cash, and Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
What a show, man.
Wow.
That's as Americana as it gets.
Shoo. Yeah. That's incredible.
Wow, what a show that was.
Yeah, we got to support our farmers just like the firefighters and police officers, man.
You know, we're due for another big festival thing. Like a Live Aid, like a Woodstock. They always redo those things.
Seems like it'd be so much easier to do in 2025.
Oh, my
too,
God.
Right?
Yeah, totally. By the way, I can't stop thinking about this volunteer firefighter big outdoor show.
I know. How are we going to decide who gets the proceeds from this? It's going to be tough.
I'll be honest with you, Matt. I think the way we're going to do it is a volunteer fire department bingo. We'll try to gather all the names of volunteer fire departments that we can, and we'll do it live on the air. We'll put them all in one of them bingo baskets, and we'll draw out 5 names. Yeah. And whatever names we draw, that way it's fair, because I just want to take care of all of them. And then next year we'll do another one, and those 5 names won't be in it. And then, you know what I mean? Like maybe that's how we do it.
That's a good idea, yeah. Or I don't know, is there some type of I don't know if they have what kind of hierarchy they have.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's like a Maryland
volunteer fire department that keeps track of all the other ones.
Right.
Or like like you're saying, a union that they all belong to, some kind of thing, and then they do that. I don't know. I've always thought each area just had their own, and it was kind of that was their thing.
It might be,
but I have no idea.
Educate us if you're listening. 443-626-7111.
Somebody, Rocky, our boy Rocky Toofy, as I like to call him. He said, let's do mixed stock, comedy and music. But I don't want to brand it with my name. I want to brand it with something with you and I in the show. And maybe we just do like, I guess it's kind of hard when the show's called Mickey Talks to call it anything else. But you know what I mean, dude. I want to make this.
We'll come up with a cool name for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is the other thing. Wouldn't it be amazing? I'm not saying they have to, because I realize it's difficult. But what if everybody volunteered that day? The bands, us.
To fight fires?
No, to just raise money for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we sell $20 tickets and there's no cost. All the bands volunteer.
Of course, yeah, I think that's the way it should be.
Yeah, like everybody just donate because, look, let's face it. You live somewhere and it doesn't have a municipality that has a fire department. It's volunteers coming to save your shit.
Right.
So
I wish I knew the actual statistic. I think it's something like 60 to 70% of fire departments in the country
Matt,
are volunteer.
If only there was a device where we could ask it questions and it would tell us.
Yeah, we need to invent something.
Wait a minute. What percentage of fire departments are volunteer in the United States? Let's see what it says.
Our co-host series.
70%?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Wow.
That's huge, right? So only 30% of the fire departments are paid salaries, right?
Think about that for real.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
It blew my mind when I learned that for the first day. It was only probably 5 or 6 years ago that I learned that.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
70%. That's just insane to me. Absolutely insane.
And those guys get a little bit of disrespect on occasion as well.
The volunteers?
Yeah. Can you imagine?
No.
You're volunteering, staying up all night, and you come to somebody's burning house.
Well, they can sleep. There are cots and stuff there.
I hear you. But come on. A little bit of respect here. Right?
I'm with you,
Put some respect on it.
Yeah. This is awesome.
All right, so
I love this idea, by the way.
I do too. I think we should put it together.
Yeah.
And if people have ideas on how we can disperse the funds fairly, we're all ears about that too. If you know about their structure.
Well, I don't know anything, but I'm going to find out if there is like we'll figure that out.
Yep.
Who knows, Matt? This could become the next big thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our volunteer fire department festival.
I should do it all over the country. I mean, not us, but people should.
Yeah, they'll pick up on it and do it. Yeah. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do it. I don't even care if it ends up just being a small comedy show. I'm not gonna let this one go.
Yeah, I mean, we could pop around to the fire halls. A lot of them do have halls. We could do stuff for them locally in their each little area.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but I'm talking about a big festival where a bunch of people want to go.
I like it.
We host it and
set something on fire, let them put it out.
Yeah, I mean, you could do all that stuff. I'm not kidding, man. Like,
well, I did an event for the radio station. I think it was a couple years ago, and they set 2 cars on fire. It was out in Westminster.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they set 2 cars on fire.
That's called a demolition derby, Matt. No, I'm kidding.
Love it.
I'm kidding. Did they really like an exhibition?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna coordinate. We're gonna coordinate this. We're gonna make this. I'm gonna give it a couple weeks. Say within 2 weeks, we'll find out if we can do this or not.
For sure.
I'm gonna call some real promoters.
All right. Meanwhile, Anthony Kiedis takes a page from Gene Simmons' book, and he's merchandising now. They've launched a canned coffee brand. Red Hot Chili Pepper singer Anthony Kiedis is launching his coffee brand. It's called Jolene and was co-founded with his longtime friend Shane Powers. The brand offers 2 varieties of canned coffee, black cold brew and white oat milk latte. The items are available for purchase online and on the official Jolene Coffee website. Coffee fans in LA and New York can also now look for it at select retailers before it rolls out to 40 separate Live Nation amphitheaters across 23 states this spring.
It's pretty wild how much actually happens when you have a brand, like the money you can make when you have a name in advertising. So if anybody wants to make a Mickey Talks anything, yes. Yes.
What would we have? I know we're gonna get some shirts soon, aren't we? Aren't the shirts?
Yeah,
on the way?
I'm just so you know. I'm sorry I didn't tell you this today. I'm in talks with a place that's going to set up the shop where we can just have a link and people go to it and buy merch.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm getting into selling shit again, Matt. I'm gonna. I'm also. I haven't done.
People have been asking. A lot of people have been asking. I know.
And I'm. Yeah, there's some stuff coming. But I think, like, if we could have if you could have your branded something that we sold, what would your bucket list item be we sold? Mickey Talks blank.
I don't know. Let's think about what people have. Like John Bon Jovi has wine.
Yep.
I think Sting does too.
Yeah, a lot of guys have wine. Maynard.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Yeah, right.
There are a lot of dudes are into wine culture.
Green Day and Chili Peppers obviously now have coffee brands.
Coffee.
I'm not a coffee drinker. I drink tea. I would, I would drink a Mickey Talks, a Mickey tea.
So wait a minute, you drink tea as well?
Yeah.
Does Paul know that?
Drinker.
Does Paul know that?
I don't know.
I got to call him right now.
Why? Why do you ask?
Hold on a second. This is a serious moment for the show.
I mean, it's literally my favorite drink, I would say. I drink it every day. Hot tea, cold tea, especially green tea.
Wait, just stop. I can't deal with this, Matt. I have a serious issue with tea.
A good issue, a good way or a bad way?
I'll explain it here. Hold on.
Can't you plug him in and put him on the air?
I don't feel like it. He'll be right on.
All right.
It'll be better this way. It'll sound better. Come on, answer. Oh, Mr. Big Shot doesn't have time to answer us. He's probably listening. He's probably listening and doesn't want to be on the air. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, he'll call me back in a minute or two, probably.
Now I'm intrigued about this. What's this tea story?
So, I don't understand guys that drink tea instead of coffee. It's a woman drink. Tea is a woman drink.
Come on.
Unless you're from Britain.
Look at the Brits.
Yeah, unless you're from there.
Yeah.
I'm saying culturally.
My heritage is from Europe, okay?
So's mine. I mean, I get it. I can drink a tea. But, do you wake up in the morning?
You drink tea, don't you?
I drink sweet tea. That's not hot tea.
Sweet tea.
Listen to you, Earl Grey. Are you an Earl Grey guy? Is that what you like, sweetheart?
I drink green tea.
Green tea?
Yeah.
Do you drink it warm?
Sweet tea.
Hold on. Do you drink green tea warm?
I drink it cold. I like it better cold.
Okay, wait. That's different. I'm saying, do you ever make hot tea instead of coffee?
Rarely.
Okay, you're not one of. Paul drinks hot tea instead of coffee, like in the morning or after a meal.
Well, I would drink that instead of coffee. I don't like coffee.
Oh God,
I'm weird with coffee, man. I love the smell of coffee.
What's wrong with it?
I love chocolate covered coffee beans. I love coffee ice cream.
What's the problem with liquid coffee?
It's too bitter, I think.
There's Paul.
Is that him?
Yeah. Okay, I got to tell him we're on the air first. Hey, Paul, we're on the air, so don't say anything you wouldn't say normally, okay?
Okay.
All right, we are literally on the air. Matt just told me he's a tea drinker.
Okay.
And I said, so are you? And I don't know if I can have two grown men that drink hot tea in my life. So one of you are going to have to give it up.
I guess you have a problem being around sophisticated men.
Oh, that what it is? Sophisticated.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if Matt's saying thank you. You may not be able to hear him, but he's saying thank you. Anyway, I will call you after the show and we will discuss this further.
All right.
All right. See you, boss.
See ya.
Bye.
He is the boss.
Yeah.
He's our partner for people that don't know.
Yeah, and Paul is one of the greatest human beings I've ever met in my
Amen.
life. But I just got to get him off this girly tea drink. But let me ask
you drink tea.
but it's different, Matt. When you drink hot tea, okay, have you ever woken up in the morning, gone to Dunkin' Donuts, and gotten a hot tea to start your day?
I will say this.
Yeah.
When I was touring, doing the hypnosis shows and stuff, I would go down in the morning because it was free. Basically.
And you got tea?
Because it was
yes
free.
or no?
It's free at all the hot hotels.
So was coffee.
Yeah. Was it free?
Coffee's always free in the hotel.
Is it?
So is the tea. You chose tea, right?
Well, I chose it because I don't like coffee. Yeah.
Did you make a separate one for your boyfriend when you went back upstairs?
No, but it came with a free purse.
Your tea came with a free purse. Oh, that's hilarious. All right, let's do another story here. Oh, you're like a trans coffee drinker. You just drink tea instead.
All right, well, that's it for Matt's music video. You want to get into the
let's go right into That's the Facts, Matt, brought to us by Barnes Paving. Again, thank you so much, Barnes Paving. BARNES paving.com, BARNES paving.com, or give them a call at 443-243-3710. They are amazing. And this is That's the Facts, Matt. What do we got?
This broke yesterday. We briefly talked about this right before we went on the air yesterday. Pete Rose has been reinstated by the MLB and now eligible for the Hall of Fame. In a surprise announcement yesterday, Rose, baseball's all-time hits leader, was banned in 1989 for betting on games. The president pushed for this change, meeting with MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred earlier this year. And the decision also lifts bans for other deceased players like shoeless Joe Jackson.
I don't think that should be lifted. He threw a World Series.
Yeah, he was he the only one in it, or were the other?
He's the only one he was the only one, I believe, that took the fall. He was the only one with balls enough to say, yeah, I did it. I think. I don't know the true history, but I think he did throw a World Series number
that's
one.
messed up.
And, Pete Rose, I should have been in along. And the fact that he died, and then they put him back in, is a worse insult than not reinstating him. I think that man should have.
Like it's too late, right?
He has the most hits in the history of baseball, period.
Yeah, it's incredible.
The most hits. That's a big deal. That's like, listen, I respect Cal Ripken greatly. I love Cal Ripken. But showing up for work every day is amazing, and it's incredible. But Pete Rose has the most hits.
And didn't we just read that on another story that making a hit in baseball is one of the hardest things to do in professional sports?
It's unbelievably hard.
Yeah.
It's incredibly hard. He had the most. I beat Ty Cobb.
Yeah.
Listen, he beat Ty Cobb.
Yeah.
Put him in the Hall of Fame and put an asterisk and next to his name, right? What a dick. Whatever. But he's got to be in the Hall of Fame.
You got to wonder, like, how many guys are betting?
Because I don't think betting is cheating. Betting on something doesn't make you.
Game is cheating.
Throwing the game is cheating.
Yeah.
And I don't think Pete Rose threw games. I don't.
Well, they got it. How would you quantify that way? I mean, how would you prove that?
You can't.
And that's probably why people say.
Of course. I mean, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. But I think as time went on and more things became obvious and people understood what a truly great baseball player he really was, you can listen. I'll even take the argument of saying we're not going to recognize it. But don't just act like it didn't happen. Don't act like he didn't have the most hits. That's ridiculous.
And it's got to be so much harder today with as easy as betting has become on sports.
Oh my God, dude! Listen, what happened? What's his name last year? Not Ichiro, the Japanese guy. That remember his agent was betting like $1 million on him. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
It's nuts. They should be allowed to gamble. They should be allowed to bet on themselves and themselves only. Why can't you do that?
Because you can throw the game. That's the whole
If you
point.
bet on yourself,
oh, I see what you're saying. If you bet on yourself to win,
I think they should have to.
I got you. Yeah,
They should have to bet on themselves.
Right there, you go.
Do that in the game.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. So the United Healthcare Group CEO Andrew Whitty has suddenly stepped down, citing personal reasons.
Wait a minute. Who was this?
This is Whitty. He was appointed to lead the parent company of United Healthcare.
Okay, got it.
Following the murder of Brian Thompson.
Right. This is the Mangione assassination, right? Okay.
Yeah. He had previously expressed disappointment over the amount of hatred and death threats aimed at the company and its employees.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Then now that I followed you, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. And yesterday I read where he basically said, I can't deal with this. I this is too much for me.
He also admitted the health system does not work as well as it should. It's unclear, though, exactly why he has chosen to step down, but I think we kind of all know. I mean,
he thinks he's going to get killed.
Yeah. He's afraid for his family as well, I'm sure.
Of course. I mean, it's insanity what happened. That whole story to me is crazy. It's tragic. I know the family of the Mangione family, amazing people. Like you could never in a million years had imagined this would happen.
Right.
You would just never expect that.
I don't in any way condone what happened at all. But, our healthcare system is very broken.
The insurance companies are evil companies. Let's not beat around the bush.
Well, there's collusion between them and the hospitals
and doctors. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying if we don't go back to grassroots with everything, we've lost the game. We got to start a new game. Yeah. And the only way we can do it is to refield a team. And the people that, if you've been following this kid, have you been following this kid Hogg on the Democratic side?
No.
He's the vice chair of the Democratic Committee.
Okay.
Or whatever, the DNC. And he basically said on Bill Maher Friday night, half of these people got to go. They're terrible.
Yeah.
It's time for a change. And now the Democratic Party's coming after him hardcore. And he's the vice president of the Democratic chair. You know what I mean?
Right.
And basically, it's the Democratic National Committee. So all the Democrats are run by this committee. He's the vice president, and he is outwardly calling them out, and they're trying to get him fired, and the kid is right. I'm not even a Democrat or a Republican.
A big part, me neither. A big part of it is that we don't have a true free market in the healthcare system here in the U.S.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And that Obamacare bullshit, that was a setup for disaster. Mm-hmm. Like the basic way to do this, I've said it 1,000 freaking times. People like to think that if you're in Canada, you get a knee injury and you die. Like there are surgeries where America truly excels in. I get that. I get it. We have some of the best healthcare facilities in the world, but most of the stuff people suffer with day to day, they take care of all over the world. Their government funds it. They pay your extra tax. They do, Matt. It's
listen, man, I know. I mean, you go to Canada right now, and you know what's easy? You're hearing all the healthy Canadians talk about how happy they are with the healthcare system. That's because you can easily walk in and get an X-ray.
Right.
You can go get treated for your cold or whatever it is.
Right.
But you need an operation or cancer treatment,
well,
you're on a wait list
because
for a long, long time.
Here's the other part of that problem that nobody,
and a lot of people come here,
talks about. Exactly. I don't understand why you can't go anywhere and get health care. Why does it cost different? It's another thing. Medicines. You see what Trump did?
Yeah.
With the price of medication?
Oh, yeah.
Us first.
Right.
We ain't paying the most.
Sure.
We use the most.
Yep.
We're not paying the most. Fuck off.
Well, the world can't do it without us. As far as developing new drugs and
of course. Yeah. So did you see that guy that called him? He said, I'm in, was he in Canada or Europe somewhere? And he said, I just paid $88. Back home, it was $1,300.
It's ridiculous.
Explain that.
Right. Greed, Yeah.
It's just greed.
Yeah.
And I'm done with this shit. I'm checking out of everything. I'm going to get my own insurance.
Yeah. Mickey Talks Insurance. That's what we need to do. Mickey Talks Insurance.
Car insurance, I would definitely do Mickey Talks car insurance.
We'd be broken a day.
I bet we wouldn't. First of all, it would not cost you. Yeah. I'm a 50-some-year-old man. My car insurance right now is insane. Yeah. I have one car. It's insane.
Well, inflation has a lot to do with that, too.
Yeah.
You know?
I hear you.
Turned around, though. The economy's in better shape than it has been
Yeah,
in a long
it's coming
time.
around.
Yeah.
I got faith in it. I do
Yeah.
think that enough shit's getting done that things are going to get better.
Yeah.
I could be crazy.
Where do you stand on the Menendez brothers? They've been
Free 'em.
resentenced.
Free them.
Yeah.
Yeah, what'd they get now?
So Eric and Lyle Menendez were resentenced to 50 years to life on yesterday, making them eligible for parole after over 3 decades in prison
Wow.
for the 1989 murders of their parents. That's according to TMZ.
I have no problem with that murder.
Well, it's, here's the thing, man.
The father raped both of the boys.
Listen,
the story's
I
over,
have,
in my opinion.
Listen, I have great sympathy for the way they were raised. But here's the thing. They actually were adults when it happened. They were 18 and 21 when
Still
the
your
murders
father,
happened.
dude. Still your father. And
I agree. So I'm very agnostic on it. I don't know where I sit.
I'm
on
not.
it. Yeah.
If you're going to do that to your own child, and then that child grows up and he's so rage-filled that he kills you, you fucking deserve it. I'm sorry. It's how I feel. You can hate me for it. You can tell me I'm an animal, whatever. But you do that to a child, your own fucking child.
I agree. It's the worst thing you could do.
Yeah, I think they should have been given, they should have been given that day. They should have been given serious psychological hospital stays. They should have spent a year or two truly getting their mind wrapped around what happened to them. Instead, all they had to do was spend 30 years saying, I couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it anymore. Yeah, I got no problems with it.
Family members in court.
It sounds, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I need to clarify that, Matt. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's right.
But I have to clarify this. When I say I have no problem with it, of course I have a problem with somebody murdering someone. But I believe, just like we say, if a crime's horrible enough, the death penalty. Well, he just gave him the death penalty. What he did was terrible.
Without due process, though. That's the only
You know
problem.
what? I don't think due process between the two people is necessary. If you rape me and I kill you, there's your due process. You just did the crime and I killed you. Now what? Why do you need due process? You just raped me. I'm your child and you just had sex with me. I'm going to kill you. There's your due process.
Well, I agree with you. If it happened, then for sure there should be punishment. No question. Well, the family members, of course, in court expressed joy at the decision, embracing as the new sentence was read. Defense attorney highlighted the brothers' rehabilitation efforts over the past 30 years. However, Los Angeles County District Attorney opposed the resentencing, asserting that the brothers had not fully accepted responsibility. The case will now move to the state parole board for further consideration. So they're ultimately going to decide whether or not these guys get out.
They're going to get out, especially in California.
Yeah.
They'll get out. They'll get out before the end of the year if they have that hearing.
Yeah.
And they'll be released,
I won't
immediately.
hate it if they get out. I won't hate it if they get out.
Yeah.
So Ticketmaster, you know what's happening here? The Biden era junk fee rule is taking effect, and Ticketmaster says it will display fees more clearly now. Ticketmaster, which is for a long time been the subject of complaints about its hidden fees, was among those targeted by the new rule, which was announced in December by the Federal Trade Commission. The rule requires ticket sellers, hotels, vacation rental platforms, and others to disclose processing fees, cleaning fees, and other charges up front. Ticketmaster said it agreed with the FTC's action.
Ticketmaster is the biggest scam in the history of live entertainment. Those guys are disgusting. They ruin touring. They've made the pricing so ridiculous. I have no respect for them. If I ever become a huge act, which I never will, but if I did, I would not use them. I think it's terrible. It's a monopoly. And the fact that we just don't go, how much does it cost to see the band? $25. Thanks.
Well, they're owned by Live Nation.
Yeah,
so
they're the promoter.
Them,
right. It's
so
a
of course
scam.
They're going to use them, right?
It's a scam.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that is legal. Like, I don't get it.
Seems like a monopoly, right?
It is a monopoly.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like one.
Yeah.
That's the very
there
definition.
There are other options, but I mean, go ahead and try to get booked at a venue
and not use Ticketmaster.
Yeah, right.
Because Live Nation owns all the venues.
Yeah.
That's the other big secret.
Yeah.
They have exclusivity.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it. It's all money at the end of the day. Just stop ripping people
off. If you're
off.
big enough, if you're Pearl Jam,
right,
you can do your own tickets. You
know?
But a lot of the little guys can't.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Believe me.
You also needs this rule, or like the airlines. You know, when you're sitting there and your ticket is $700, and the guy next to you is $300.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's a joke, and we just tolerate it.
Yeah.
All you got to do is stop doing shit, and they'll fix it. If you keep buying it, they keep doing it.
Yeah.
That's the part I don't think Americans have ever figured out. Just take 6 months off of everything.
Well, that's capitalism, right?
Yeah, that is capitalism.
Yeah.
The market will react to the market.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the way it works.
Well, if I don't think you have an iPhone, do you?
No, and I never will.
So
I like Chinese children too much.
Consumers who own Siri-enabled devices like iPhones or MacBooks may be eligible to file a financial claim as part of Apple's $95 million settlement over allegations the voice assistant eavesdropped on them.
Wow, really?
Have you ever had one of those moments, Mick? I had a moment where I don't remember what it was. My wife and I were having a conversation in our living room.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
No phone involved.
Yeah.
Just having a conversation. And then we'd go on social media and looky there. There's an ad for exactly what we were talking about.
That's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, do you have an Alexa in your house?
I do, which
it listens to everything.
I know.
And what happens is your Alexa is tied into your Google, which is tied into your social media.
Yeah.
So it immediately sets up the sales algorithm based on things you say around the house.
And nobody reads the fine print in those agreements.
Never,
you know?
never.
Yeah.
And that's why now when I walk around my house, I just say things like, I wish a 30-year-old woman would show up in my house and looking for a short man, slightly older, could use a little gym work. I talk about it all day, yet I open my phone, nothing there. Thanks, Google. Thanks a lot.
It turns out there's a $20 cap per Siri-enabled device. That means a consumer who owns an iPhone, a MacBook, and an Apple Watch could receive as much as $60, for instance. You can file a claim for up to 5 Siri-enabled devices for a maximum payout of $100, is what they're saying.
So... It's amazing.
Yeah.
I could go off on that for 10 days, but I won't.
Human composting is about to become a thing in Georgia.
Is that dead bodies, just leaving them lay there and become mulch?
Yep.
No, thanks.
No?
No.
Something about this creeps me out, and something about this I like just because it's the way it's supposed to be.
What? You're just supposed to leave them on the ground and let them rot?
Not leave them on the ground, but what they're doing is Governor Brian Kemp signed a bill this week that will allow funeral homes to make human composting facilities.
So how do you make compost with humans? How do you do that?
You just put them in the ground and let them decompose naturally.
And just leave them in there?
I guess so.
Or do you dig them up? I don't understand how it works.
Well, you would not be buried traditionally in a concrete box in the ground in a casket.
You just dig an old style hole, throw the body in it like it's the Civil War.
You become part of the earth again.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I really am.
Yeah. The idea of blending human remains into gardens and yards has been growing in popularity recently. More than a dozen other states have legalized human composting. Maryland became the 9th state to legalize human composting.
You can dig a hole and bury somebody in Maryland?
I don't think you can, but I think that
the funeral home
homes
can
are
have it
licensed
arranged
to do that. Yeah.
On your own property?
I don't think it's on your own property.
So there's a place designed.
I think so.
Yeah. And in 50 years, that'll be a development. And there'll be houses all over.
Well, you're going to be eating Matt Davis potatoes one day.
Matt Davis potatoes. I'll take them. They sound delicious. I'll have the Davis potatoes, please. Not those Coachella potatoes. Those were awful and bitter.
But do try the Coachella carrots.
The Coachella carrots are off the hook.
Delicious.
Yes, they're perfect sized. My carrots are perfect.
So there's now new research, check this out, that's saying living creatures cast a faint aura that stops at death. Yeah, the study was published in the Journal of Physical Chemistry Letters. It finds that living things glow faintly throughout their lives due to the energy released by the metabolic and cellular processes. Monitoring this weak signal could one day help scientists track injury and disease. So they did it with mice, I believe it was. Let me see here. Yeah, it was the University of Calgary in Canada's National Research Council used special cameras to catch tiny bits of light called biophotons coming from mouse cells and plant leaves. And they found that healthy living cells release these low energy photons, but the glow fades right away after death. And they found that, like, for instance, uninjured leaves, they glowed, but the hurt parts of the leaves glowed brighter for hours. In mice, the light drops sharply after death, and the researchers think that this glow might come from chemical reactions in living cells, though they're not sure exactly how it works. They say this is a big deal because it's the first time anyone has seen this light in an animal, hinting that humans might emit a similar glow that vanishes when we pass away.
Wow.
You ever hear people talk about like auras? I don't know if this is the same thing.
I mean, I think it is the same thing.
Yeah.
But have you ever experienced that?
Like actually seeing an aura or something?
Yeah.
No.
I can't say I've seen it. I've definitely felt things. Have you felt things around people?
Oh yeah, for sure. You walk in a room and you can
feel cold
stuff,
or you feel like warm,
yeah.
or you feel comfortable, or you feel really like something's not right here.
Right.
I do think the human body puts off energy that we can feel and read.
I do too. I think there's also a lot of subconscious cues that people give off and we pick up on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I do know. Yeah,
yeah.
I think that there is. It's interesting when you really think about how the body works. I mean, think about how much water is in us.
Yeah, it's like 70% water.
And we just walk around as
Might be
water.
more than that. Yeah.
Yeah. And we just walk around as water.
Yeah.
We're walking water.
Well, we're water that has been through water that's been through dinosaurs and every living creature on this earth recycled and through plants and
it's wild.
It is wild.
Yeah, I don't want to think about it. It'll freak me out, man.
This is getting deep.
Yeah, we're good. Let's move on. Let's do one more, Matt. You know, it's already 6:20.
Oh my God!
I know.
All right,
this
let me
show's
see here, man.
Fun.
Let me check out a couple. And so it's funny. This is one we were talking about. Maybe listen to Moon Trash. We can talk about scientists are realizing your gut is like a second brain. Or we can let's see. Oh, one of the stars of Happy Gilmore died. Can we tell this and then one more?
Yeah, which one?
Morris the alligator. Nobody knows how old he was, but he was estimated to be at least 80, and he may have been as old as 100, they say.
This is hilarious.
He played the alligator who bit off Chubbs Peterson's hand and was later killed and beheaded by Happy.
Oh, my God.
Morris had a long career in Hollywood from 1975 to 2006. His films included the cult horror classic Alligator in 1980.
He was the star.
Oh, yeah.
That was his moment.
Of course. Then he was in 1994's Interview with a Vampire and also in Dr. Dolittle 2 in 2001. He spent his twilight years at a place called the Colorado Gator Farm, and they plan to have him stuffed so he can, quote, scare small children for many years to come. That's what he would have wanted.
The Colorado Gator Farm.
Yeah.
I want to be a member.
Yeah.
I would live there.
I would like to see that. He measured 10 feet, 11 inches, and weighed 640 pounds.
What a beautiful animal.
He's with Chubbs now.
Well, Matt, I got to tell you, show with Chubbs. I got to tell you, I was a little upset when we lost our guest today.
Yeah.
Not mad, just, like, damn.
Right.
But this was a good show. We covered a lot of things personally. And I just want to, again, thank everybody. 40th show.
Number 40.
And I want to end the show talking about this. I started this show, and I didn't have anything. And here we are, 40 shows, and I want to make an announcement. I'm opening up
finally
a comedy club,
right,
where I started, which was at the Bowman Restaurant. It has been a comedy club for years. Yeah, it's in Parkville, Kearney, the Bowman Restaurant. It was called Tracy's Comedy Club when I performed there many times. Yeah. And I'm not exactly sure what is going to exactly happen. But I can tell you this, that within a month and a half, I will be open. It is called Hammer Jokes.
I love that,
man. It is a tribute to, like, the first place I really started making a name for myself was Hammer Jacks.
Did you tell Louie about that, the old
I haven't talked to
Hammer
Louie
Jacks?
yet. I got to call him.
Yeah.
He won't. He'll think it's hilarious.
I think he will, too.
But, it's called Hammer Jokes, and it's not a stab at Hammer Jacks. It's a tribute.
Sure.
And I'm going to be I'm really excited about it. The people at the Bowman, Steve and his team have been great with me. The Goobies Comedy Club was there for a long time that I worked. So this is really neat. And it's going to be a little different. Like I'm going to focus on local people and different kinds of comedy shows. I'm going to have an improv night. I'm going to have obviously
that's cool.
An open mic night. I'm going to have a night called You Bring the Punch, which basically the comedians are on stage and a thing flashes up on the screen, basically a premise, and you have 30 seconds to come up with a punchline or start a bit about it. So like, it's going to be different and fun. And I love the fact that stand-up comedy is alive and well again. It is booming. When I started, it was very rare that you met a comedian. Now there's tons. And I'm just really, really happy about this.
Is it going to run 7 days a week?
No, it won't run 7. It's probably going to be like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Friday and Saturday will be traditional comedy nights. The rest of the time will be it'll be different, fun stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just really, really excited about all of it. I really am. I think we lost the feed on Facebook again, but I know we're on YouTube and everything else. So I'm really excited. Anyway.
Do you think you're going to do any touring comics through there?
Sure, I will.
Yeah.
I'll definitely, I'll do some, but I'm also up against 2 massive comedy clubs in this town that certainly don't want to share entertainment.
Sure.
So, and I get it. I'm the little guy like usual, but I'm going to have fun and I'm just excited. And it's just all part of everything that's worked out. And thank you to everyone watching and listening. It's because of you guys and you, Matt and Paul, that things are going the way they are. So I'm really excited about the
good
future,
stuff
bro.
happening, man. Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. and then Friday at Natalie's Seafood Restaurant in Falston. To all of you out there, you are the best. We love you. Matt, where do people subscribe to YouTube?
Yeah, so please do subscribe to the YouTube. We are a little over 600 subscribers right now on our new channel. We got to get to 1,000 so we can monetize the channel. So
yeah, please.
We would love you if you shared the channel and subscribe to it. You go to youtube.com/@MickeyTalksPod, like podcast, and subscribe, please. That'll help us. Like the videos, watch the videos. All that will help us.
Can't wait. Matt, I love you. Everybody else, I love you more. Not more, Matt. That was rude.
That's
that
all right.
came out.
I
meant also. You're the best. Thank you, Mickey Talks fans. You're incredible. See you guys tomorrow at 5. Thanks, everybody. Good night.